This week on Real Talk, we're diving into the American Eagle campaign. Yes, the one starring Sydney Sweeney that says Sydney Sweeney has great genes. We'll unpack that a little bit, dive into the concept, the reaction that the internet had, the backlash. Was it clever marketing or did it cross the line? We'll get into that. We're also going to compare some past ads that were pretty racy and were banned in certain states. I'm not, excuse me, certain countries. So I'm also going to get a little deeper meaning. We're going to dive deep into this whole meaning behind this type of marketing and is it effective or not. So buckle up your jeans because Real Talk's coming right at you on the other side.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Capri, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
It's Vicky Judy, Orange is the New Black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Frida Parks. You're listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Nothing more, nothing less. Welcome back to another edition of Real Talk with the Jedi Council and the Director. I'm the Director. We'll be with you for the next 60 minutes or so. Real Talk is brought to you by B2S Media, and we broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV and the IE Network. And of course, the social network itself, Facebook. And of course, we also broadcast over here on Instagram. We stopped doing Twitter or X, whatever it's called. But yeah, man, welcome back. So yeah, everyone's talking and buzzing about this ad campaign thing. So we thought we'd take a little deep dive into it. And not just the ad itself, but let's talk about the method, the process of having in the benefit versus the disadvantage of doing this type of marketing, right? Controversial marketing. We all know in this day and age, there is no line. They talk about blurred lines. The lines, there is no line anymore. There, and for generations and decades, it has been, there's really no such thing as I guess infamous and famous is kind of like the same thing. It's not supposed to be, but it kind of is. So we'll break down a few things, discuss some things about or surrounding this ad. As we all know, or if you don't know, the American Eagle ad, Sydney Sweeney is starring in a campaign which has the slogan, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. And we'll break down exactly what she says in the commercials and what was perceived by some, what is, some critics break it down and talk about other things about it, dig deeper. Some people, feel like it's a reach, and some people feel like, yeah, it's not really. If you just kind of read between the lines, right? There's a lot of innuendo, but all campaigns have innuendo, right? So we'll talk about that. I'm an 80s baby, born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s as a child. So I remember the Calvin Klein ads with 15-year-old Brooke Shields. Now, that didn't even it had some outrage, but because we didn't live in the social media age, if that would have came out now, oh my Lord. And rightfully so, it would have had some outrage. It should have had some outrage. But I remember those. But, see, being that Brooke Shields is around my age, I loved it. So it didn't matter. Me as being, my age, not far from Brooke's age. There you go. But that wasn't the outrage with that. We'll bring that up too. That was addressed in her documentary, is of course. But I want to compare it to. There's been some really, really controversial jean ads that I didn't even. One as recent as like 2015 with Kendall Jenner and stuff like that. Where it's weird. It was like a shot up the skirt, and she was part of that campaign, and a couple other things. So we'll talk about that. But the weekend recap brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com, and that is for the weekend of August 1st to the 3rd. Shout out to all of the kids in the South that's going back to school. They go back to school early. Not all of them are back to school yet. My daughter did start school again today. She's now kindergarten. Cool. It's very cool. It's much easier than last year when she was in pre-K. Me and her mom was like, this year is much easier. It's like, yeah, go ahead. Okay. Cool. So she knows the school where everybody knows everybody, loves everybody's like, yeah, you're back. So whatever. But so the weekend, number 5 on the list, Jurassic World Rebirth made another $8.8 million over the weekend, bringing the worldwide total to $766.8 million. We got number 4 on the list, Superman. James Gunn reboot version of Superman, $13.7 million over the weekend, bringing the worldwide total to $551 million and some change. Number 3, The Naked Gun, the remake or the reboot, $16.8 million. Just came out August 1st, bringing the worldwide total at $28 million. Number 2, The Bad Guys 2, made $22 million, bringing the worldwide total at the moment, just came out over August 1st, $44.5 million worldwide. And the number 1 movie again this week is The Fantastic Four, First Steps. Drop, big drop from last week, but it made another it looks like $38 million, $38.7 million, bringing the worldwide total right now to $367 million and some change and counting. And that is your weekend recap brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com. So here we go, man. Shout out. I want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat room. Joseph Tanner, of course. Thank you for holding us down. And we have over there on Instagram, welcome, my friends. And hopefully we'll get some people from over there. Cool. You're watching Real Talk. You're listening to Real Talk. This Jedi Council and the director. I'm the director. If you didn't know that already. Says it right there. I brought my Jedi Council with me. If you don't believe me, well, here we go. Ralph, Kev, y'all in the building.
Hey,
Rest
what's
in
up, everybody?
Lonnie Anderson. Rest in peace, Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah, man, I was like, wow. Everybody just dropping.
Oh yeah, they dropping, man. Lonnie Anderson, WKRP in Cincinnati.
Natty.
Yeah, man, that was on our list that time when we did the tournament. We had that in there, didn't we?
Yes, it was.
Yep.
It was on
That
there.
was in there. WKRP. That was a nice one. That was a nice theme song. That was a good one. I thought that was a cool theme song. I mean, back then, man, there was a lot of cool theme songs. I mean, that's a whole nother story.
That's
But
because it was the 80s, man.
yeah, I mean, all the theme songs, but theme songs meant something back then. Like we already talked about that before. You know, that was the purpose of the tournament. It's like theme songs that really helped. Like if you heard the theme song, you never saw the show, you could kind of get an idea of what the show's about. Those were, descriptive and, theme songs like, the Brady Bunch theme song just basically told you what the premise of the show is. If
Yeah.
you've never seen the show before in your life and you heard the theme song, you know what to expect when you saw the show. You're like, oh, okay. So they're married,
Brothers and sisters
right?
fighting. Like
Right.
you know what? Hey, you know what I gotta say about the Brady Bunch? The reason why it was one of my favorite shows as a kid is that even though it was even though it was an all I use the word loosely Caucasian family, it was it showed real America. And even though they were middle class
Yeah.
because their dad was an architect.
Yeah.
Mom, I forgot what
He was
mom
the only
did,
one. She didn't do nothing. She was a housewife. She didn't work.
but she was never home. It seemed like Alice was always the one that was home.
Yeah, but
So
she didn't really work.
what was mom doing?
Doing
Hmm.
housewife shit. Doing housewife stuff. Just going and shopping
Well,
and
she wasn't really, not
Alice
really,
did
because
that.
shopping. Alice did
Alice
the
did
food
that.
shopping. I don't know what she did, but she didn't have a job. She was a housewife. She didn't have a job. I don't remember them ever stating she ever had a job. That's funny. That's a good trivia question. What did Carol Brady do for a living? I don't think she
She
did
did
anything.
something.
I think Mike Brady was the only breadwinner.
And back then he could have been, because architects,
Yeah.
me being a draftsman, there's a difference between a licensed architect and an architect that just graduated from college. I'm one step below. I'm just a draftsman with a lot of architect knowledge. But if you graduated from college
He
as
was
an architect,
you could tell. He was
then you were just a college graduate with a degree in architecture, which you
yeah,
could work for any firm, but you couldn't sign or stamp any drawings. And that's where the real
right.
money was. If
Oh,
you're able to stamp drawings,
he was making decent
yeah,
money.
to have that kind of house,
Yeah, yeah.
he built that house.
He
If I'm not
probably
mistaken,
I
he
think he
designed and
did
built that house.
because that was his house. She moved her and the girls moved
It
in,
was
and
moved into his house, right?
that was his house. So yeah, so yeah, that was cool. But yeah, then shout out to Lonnie and Simon with the WKRP. Um, yeah, man. So of course, the the whole crazy. We'll get into that in a moment. The stupid ad thing that's been going on, the campaign that I was looking up some other campaigns because I haven't really obviously don't really care about that stuff, but I'm like, oh man, I remember this campaign, and I remember a lot of these ones that caught a lot of flack when the campaigns came out. It's off like I'm gonna put some of those pictures up and see if y'all remember any of these.
I'm gonna just say it like this because I don't know what the whole thing with Sydney Sweeney is. If she's just saying my jeans are blue,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta actually pull this video up
Mm-hmm.
that a very famous man told people that be talking about people. But folks, get a life. it's not that big a deal. It's
Right.
not. You know, you're acting like Sydney Sweeney is the only person in the history of marketing that's dressed a certain way, you know, off of her looks to showcase the product. I mean, beyond Brooke Shields, wasn't it? I think just about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5, where it was a marketing program by J'adore with Charlize Theron, where she got out of a pool naked. Didn't we just have a Rihanna ad for another perfume that shit where she ended up getting naked? So let's
Yeah,
pump
I mean
let's pump the brakes.
Yeah, we're gonna dig a little bit into it of the so-called outrage behind it. It's not as much as far as like the sexual part of it.
It ain't really no sexual, part. Ain't really no sexual part. Ain't really no.
Right, so that's what I'm just saying. That's what I'm basically telling you. It's not.
I think what it is simply that if you want to have an outrage that it's another, and I hate to put it racial, if you say it's another white girl who is pushing something and another black girl probably that was just, if not more deserving, didn't get a shot, then fine. But stop dogging Sydney Sweeney for someone offered her, she took it. Why should she not take it? It's blue jeans. You know,
Yeah.
and then you want to bring turns out she was a registered Republican. I don't think nobody knew that when she signed on to do the project that she was a Republican or a Democrat. Because I don't think nobody gave a fuck. You're a hot girl that could push this product. Case closed.
Well, here's what part of the outrage is from, and not to take away any smoke from West, just to give a nice segue. It's the double entendre of the whole thing, as Wes put it earlier to me on the phone. I like that phrase because that's exactly what it is. You know, nice blue jeans on a blue-eyed, blonde-haired American. Now we all know that on the Republican side, and this was what I think Democrats are hot about, is that it pushes the narrative of, hey, oh, she got good genes. Well, they're taking it and blowing up to say, oh, well, that's going over to the European standard, something that African Americans and darker skinned Latinos have been talking about for years about this European standard of beauty. And I'll let Wes take it from there.
Right, but wait, let's hold off for a second, because before we get into that, I gotta play this one video in honor of Ralph, and it's right here.
Oh God.
Yeah, I saw this. Not my Superman.
Me. This is the S. I hate this S. It fills me with such rage. There, that's better.
Look,
and no tuck in.
It's not over.
Pause. And no tuck in. Pause.
I'm sorry, boys. I love you. This is not about you.
Yeah, he's a real. Wow.
I didn't even see all that part. I didn't even see all that
association.
part.
Look. Guilty by association, he said. Look, he's got all the stupid bucket, he said. Look, that bucket was fire.
The popcorn bucket? I didn't know they had a 10 for that.
Yeah, that bucket was nice.
$30.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would have bought a 10 if I had known that.
Look, he bought an action figure.
That's like another 17. That's another 15.
Hashtag super shit.
Look at this guy.
No.
Look, it goes even further.
Can't forget about him.
It's a
Funko Pop.
Funko Pop.
Come on,
look at his face.
All we have now is what come before and the comic books. I'm fine with that. I'm sticking with it. Of course, I said I was making a cape. There's a cape. There's the S I made. I think I did a pretty good job. Whatever. I don't need it.
I don't need it.
This is my S. This is my cape.
See, my
I don't need a new one.
How do you react when your phone starts blowing up and your friends tell you?
Oh my God! I saw that. I had to show. I'm like, I know he said he saw it anyway, but I'm like,
I didn't see the rest of that stuff. I just saw him ripping the T-shirt. But see, those are the type of people I be AT and popcorn. But those are just the type of people I be talking about. Just the type of people I be talking about.
AT,
not my Superman. Not my Superman.
I didn't know if you saw it or not, but the first person I thought of was you when I saw that. I was like, oh, we gotta play this for Ralph. My goodness. Fanboy crash out. Fanboy crash out for sure.
See? And this like I said, they out there. They out there. You know, they talking about Superman. Listen, for all you crackpot fanboys out there, let me tell you something. Superman, the one that just came out, and y'all saying, well, it hasn't meet what Man is Steel taking. It's only been out 17 days. Man of Steel was out months before it got, and in that 17 days, it's taking in over $550 million. That's not bad.
That's great.
That's not bad. And let's be clear, it's still got legs. It's still got weeks, but you really don't have nothing really threatening that could possibly push Superman out the top 10, right? In the next couple weeks. So
maybe even out the top 5 in the next few weeks.
Out the top 5, because I think Weapons is going to be big this week, and I really want to see Weapons.
Weapons is going to go big. Yeah, Weapons is.
I really want to see that. You know, but it's not going to be anything to push it out the top 10. But it's going to keep making money at least until the beginning of Labor Day. So once again, you fanaticals out there, calm the fuck down. For God's sake.
This dude. That was funny. I'm sorry, that was funny. Kev, we get you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know why whatchamacallit keeps bouncing me off. I don't know what's happening, but I keep getting bounced off. This is like the third time I got bounced off. I got bounced off twice during your introduction, and I just got bounced off again.
But
that
was a fanboy crash out.
It was hilarious, man. I swear to God, and the bucket part, and the guilty by association. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he said guilty by association. Then he rips the crypto poster.
But see, that's just the kind of crap I be talking about. Like, bro, was any of that shit, any of that necessary?
Yes, it was 100% necessary. I'm sorry. That was 100% necessary. I needed that. It just made me feel, even though he's a deep Superman, fan. He's from the bottom up. Pause. Superman fan, and that's what I love about it. Just the fact that he's able to run through it, and that the ripping of the shirt, that first part was just significant. Of, if you remember the old Superman cartoon from back in the day, even the Superman black and white, both of them predominantly, even though that's Superman in black and white, even though he was a little chubby, he wasn't the definition of what we call muscular like Henry Cavill. He was, he was kind of like the comic book, but when his chest was predominantly stuck out, like Truth, Justice, and the American Way, with his fist on his waist, and his chest was predominantly pushed out. If you notice, when Homeboy ripped his chest open, he stuck his chest out. when he wrote when he put his whole chest into it, for lack of a better phrase. So I like that part, and just the fact that he just like basically almost just walked us through his room of fandom. I love that, and the fact that he spent money on some of this stuff
He spent a lot of
and
money when
destroyed
you
it.
think about it. Everything he just destroyed. I mean, he destroyed a good couple $100 worth of stuff, probably. Damn
And
near.
I didn't,
Right.
yeah, and when I went to the movies, I forgot to ask the guy because the first thing I asked him about was the Galactus tin, and as soon as he said $80, I was thinking about buying shit else. I walked away from the counter.
Yeah, I had
I was
thought
like, "Give me,"
about getting it. I was like, never mind.
I said, "Give me some
Never mind.
Twizzlers,"
Never mind.
and I
I just
walked away from the counter.
got
I couldn't come home to my daughter with all of the tins that I have. I have about I have about 25 tins from different movies, and I could not justify coming home with the bills that we got, and we trying to save it to buy a house. I couldn't justify coming in here with an $80 tin. I
I
would have
got
got I
this.
would got I would have got screamed on.
I got this when I went to see Fantastic Four. This was like a 10 that they got, and it has like a you could put it has the limited edition character that you could put there, like the card, and it
Oh,
comes.
they didn't even have that at my theater.
That look
They
kind of
didn't
that
have
look kind of
that.
right. Yeah, they didn't have it at all.
And look at the
Yeah, you
character.
But I can
see
go
that
with
was
that.
that. Oh, you know why,
Look at the
Ralph?
character
Because
that I got.
West went to AMC. That's why.
Look at the character I
Oh,
got. Silver Surfer. So it was like this is the little character that comes with it. Then there's like a card you could put there, and you can have it like this on the tin. So that was pretty cool. It's got a top. It was pretty cool. I was like, all right, and this
wait a
was
minute.
only
I just gotta play this. I don't know if this gonna work with this share screen. I'm gonna try it, but I'm hoping it got to work. And I
Yo,
really
West, that thing is
mean it.
nice.
yeah, this was only 20. It was like $24,
Sorry, Ralph.
and that came with a large popcorn. So that was a good price.
I don't I don't know if this is gonna work. Is it okay? But this is to all you fanboys out there. I'm saying
Oh,
this with
Jesus.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
mutual admiration. No, that's
not
no,
playing.
that's
Want to glow up?
no. YouTube is
For your
messing
phone?
up. YouTube is messing up.
When they playing a commercial,
You can
more commercials.
get this fixed.
No, YouTube keeps. I got
See,
what I'm looking
that's
for.
what you guess. The universe telling you, be quiet.
Universe tell me leave him alone.
Like when you
Leave the
and
family.
you opened up your safe, what was the combination?
Get a life.
Get a life. Get a life.
I mean, for crying out loud, it's just a TV show. I mean, look at you. Look at the way you're dressed. You've turned an enjoyable little job that I did as a lark for a few years into a colossal waste of time.
Get a life. Get a life.
Waste of time.
That's all I
Now,
gotta
that
say.
would be
Get,
funny.
get a life.
That'd be funny coming from like one of the Superman actors. But yeah, so okay, here's one of the ads, part of the campaign for Sydney Sweeney Has Great Genes. Play on words. Actually I think that's a pretty cool play on words. Just a little, whatever. It's a double entendre, of course. So just to kind of let's break down the so-called symbolism and what people are saying. I'm going to. This is not my interpretation. This isn't my opinion. I'm breaking down based on research that I did. So the symbolism is okay. First part, the genes/jeans double entendre. Genes, Genes versus jeans, Jeans. Okay, so the ad starts off one of the commercials comes on. Sydney Sweeney says, "Genes are passed down: hair color, personality, even eye color. My genes are blue." Then the overlay comes. Sydney Sweeney has great genes. All right, great genes with a J. But obviously, it's a double entendre playing off of genes, Genes, and the genes you wear, genes that you have and genes that you wear. Critics
And that's funny because those jeans match her eyes.
yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it was very well. Even the font color, like it's very well thought out. Like the way they look at everything, right? They're really pushing the blue. They're pushing, the great, right? So here's one thing. Okay, critics argue that subtext suggests generic superiority tied to traits like blue eyes, an aesthetic historically celebrated in white supremacy ideology. So, visual reinforcement of Western beauty tropes. Okay, the model is blonde, right? Blue-eyed, white woman, matching classic quote unquote Aryan beauty standards. The imagery paired with language about quote unquote great genes triggered interpretations of symbolism, right? So, or eugenic symbolism. Then you have some critics call it Nazi propaganda. Social media erupted with accusations. TikTokers and Twitter users labeled the ad Nazi propaganda and white supremacist dog whistling. Some said a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman talking about her good genes, or great genes in this case, that's Nazi propaganda, end quote.
Hitler would be proud. He couldn't have wrote a better ad.
Another person, a Guardian opinion piece from the Guardian described it as reflecting a nostalgic return to racialized aesthetic marketing aligned with conservative shifts. So, and number 4, right here, scholarly interpretation, text, subtext, context. Experts. So I'm going to put a quote on experts because that's subjective to me. Experts that those worthwhile consulting analyze the ads layers, text, benign wordplay, subtext, great genes equals blue eyes equals great white genetic traits. Context: filmed under a socio-political climate of rising white nationalism, rhetoric, and MAGA symbolism. Great, echoing "Make America Great Again." So they're pushing that great, that word great. They suggest that even if unintentional, the ad encodes messaging advocating or evoking racial purity. So, 5 defenders push back. Commentators like Megyn Kelly argue critics were overreacting, saying the ad simply celebrated a conventional beauty ideal. Conventional beauty ideal. She didn't help the case by saying that, but anyway, others insist no explicit racist intent existed and it was just a lame pun. And some cultural critics countered that intent doesn't erase impact, particularly when imagery taps long standard semantic beauty hierarchies. So that's some of the that's a little bit of a deep dive of it all into it. So basically, they're saying, like I just basically explained, there's symbolism behind it. Kind of evokes. You're basically saying, and the fact that the whole thing about her supposedly coming out, she didn't say anything, but I guess the news of her being a quote unquote registered Republican, which shouldn't matter, but in this case, that's just adding fuel to the fire for people to kind of, complain about stuff. Once again, so let's just say I'm now my answer to all of that is let's say that was their intent. Let's just play devil's advocate. American Eagle said, yeah, we're going to write a campaign that's strictly, going to rally the conservatives of the world and the Aryan nation. And yeah, we're going to put that up there because we know that it's going to spark controversy. Let's say that was their intent.
I say it was.
Okay, it probably maybe it was.
Sydney Sweeney. It wouldn't have been Sydney
Right.
Sweeney. It would have been somebody. It would have been somebody else. It wouldn't have been her.
Why wouldn't it have been her? What do you mean?
Well, because she just
mean,
signed off for the ad.
No, yeah, she didn't write the ad. Of course, she's just an actor.
But I'm saying, I think that if they wanted to get someone that was going to be controversial, honestly, if you want to get someone to be controversial and stick it in the face of Republicans, who you would have got,
it's not sticking in the face of Republicans.
Republicans, it's just this. Yeah, it's the reverse.
It's basically.
I'm sorry. I mean, for Democrats, then if anybody, I think they probably would have went with someone like, I don't know, Trump's kid, Trump's daughter. It would have been her. If you really wanted to stick it to people,
well,
frankly,
but here's the deal: that going with Trump's daughter, who is attractive as well, but going with Trump's daughter would just pretty much pigeonhole you to only Trump supporters, MAGA, and everyone who's against that. That wouldn't be right. You going with Sydney Sweeney because she's hot, meaning
and she's popular.
Not just fit. No, hot. That's what I meant. Hot meaning what I meant by hot, popular. She is attractive, hot too, but not. You can get any hot woman that's a Republican, but she is hot right now in pop culture. Right.
Yeah,
she's got a couple of movies coming out. Season 3 of Euphoria is about to come out. So she is right now. She is that they picked the right person for sure, because she is the face. If I'm the guy that wants to say, listen, our brand is called American Eagle, so we want to pick what we consider to be an American style woman, and that is a white woman, blonde hair, blue eyes, somebody who's hot right now, and right now she is the hot one, right? They definitely picked the right person, but my point is, even if that was their intent, and I'm saying it is only for discussion purposes, because I really don't care if it is or not. But even if it was their intention, my answer to that is, so what? If that's their intention, just don't buy the jeans. If that's what you think they're trying to do, you think they're trying to bamboozle you. It's not really. It's a double entendre and a play off of words. But if you can read between the lines, and that's what you get from reading between the lines, I can't tell you that you're wrong, because no one has the answer except American Eagle. They're the only ones that have the true and know the true answer. Sydney Sweeney,
I say it's both. I say it's both. I say it's both, because they know that they're marketing. They're marketing a pair of jeans to people, to their loyal American American jean American Eagle brand followers, as well as trying to pick up new followers. And what better way to get more people to buy your jean than to also play to their fan base or play to their fandom by saying, "Hey, she got great jeans. You got great jeans. Come on over here and buy some good jeans."
Yeah. So Tia Parker says there's so many beautiful women in Hollywood, but it was intentional to add Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, it was definitely intentional. Of course, it was intentional because there's other beautiful women in Hollywood, but see the way Hollywood works, everyone has their moment, right? Like they have their time, and Sydney Sweeney's time is coming around. It might be now.
No, it's now.
It is now because she's, like I said, she's not just in the show Euphoria. She's in movies, and she's doing a lot of things. So, this was definitely intentional.
And can I add this, Wes? The one thing that I think everyone is forgetting from this whole thing is they ain't talking to you grown folks anyway. You people over 30, they ain't talking to y'all no way. Y'all got mom bellies, beer bellies, and jobs and responsibilities.
Dad
bod. They talking to everybody that's age 12 and up. They're talking to and which means they're talking actually to your pocketbooks. So in that respect, if you want to say, "Hey, kids, my standard is Lee," because that's what my standard for jeans is: Lee and Levi's.
Right. I'm sorry, bro. I can't get with that Lee. After Run DMC, that was it for Lee's. That was it for Lee's back in the 80s. That was it. Levi's, yeah. Lee's, nah.
Lee on my leg, sneakers on my feet, T by my side,
and Jay with the beats.
And also T and Paco says it's also a weird ad because American Eagle is a brand geared towards teenagers and young.
What I just say,
right? Granted, they might try to attract millennial audience who grew up with the brand. Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, if I was going for that teenage audience, I still don't think I picked Sydney Sweeney. I think if I picked anybody, it would be Jenna Ortega. It just so happens.
But she doesn't. But right. But
again, but she's Ortega.
She's Ortega. That's what I'm saying. That's why Kev is.
And she's not blue-eyed.
Right. That's what supports Kev's his claim of. He thinks it's both. He thinks it's definitely intentional. I agree with you there, Kev. It's definitely intentional, and they would not have gotten anybody. The casting call for this was a blonde, blue-eyed white woman. Definitely, that's what it was, and they probably wrote it specifically for Sydney Sweeney, to ride this out. But I wouldn't be surprised had this not have gotten backlash that they would have switched out the models after a few months.
Now here's the thing. They didn't pick a model. They picked an actress.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's how you know it was intentional. Because to pick a model, a lot of us don't know who the models are. The model would have just been the model. There's a lot of blonde hair, blue-eyed, or dark hair, blue-eyed models that could have got their hair dyed to fit the description of blonde hair, blue-eyed, or been blonde and got blue contacts. No, what did they do? They picked an American actress with brown hair with blonde streaks at the end to show that if people don't know about hair coloring, if the roots are dark, that's the actual hair color, and the ends are the color that's lightening out. But when you get highlights, they highlight the whole hair from the root to the tip. and that's what she has. She has a lot of blonde highlights in her hair. Now I don't know whether
Yeah,
her
so she
hair is
ain't
actually
blonde.
really blonde.
That means she's not
It-
blonde,
no,
right?
Well,
but
That
I
means she's
don't.
not
blonde
But I
now.
blonde.
don't know. I'm making the assumption that that's what her hair is because of the way her hair looks. It looks like
But
blonde
the but the
highlights,
but the funny thing is the blonde faction of it, even though it's there and obvious, that's not even pushed in the ad. You know what I'm
which is
saying?
the
What's
blue
pushed
eye. It's
is
the
the
blue.
blue. The blue
It's the
is what's
blue
pushed because it matches the blue jeans, the blue
jeans,
eyes.
and
Right.
like I said, those jeans. It's funny that those jeans actually match her eye color.
Yeah.
They purposely picked a lighter jean that matches her eye color. And
Mhm.
look at the color of the Sydney Sweeney has great jeans.
Yeah.
Look
That's
at
what I
the
said.
color
Even
of the
the
font.
font.
Yeah,
Yeah, the font. Yep.
yeah.
So that's what they're pushing more for than anything.
Damn, we
So
actually some intelligent motherfuckers.
yeah, I mean, this is the and this is why I wanted to dig into it because yeah, it's easy to just say, yeah, this is stupid or whatever. We know that, but I'm just trying to for people who may not. There's a lot of people that's been asking me about it, and I had to actually research it to figure out why everyone was so upset.
Oh,
But you know,
you
because
know,
they what
go ahead, Wes.
uh they so I did research to just like okay let me break this down a little bit and see where people are supposedly so quote unquote outraged with. I'll get to my I'll get to my reaction to it and my opinion on it, which whatever it's probably going to be popular opinion in here, but um so anyway, that's one thing. Now one another thing I'm gonna do before I go into the ad. No, while I'm here, I'll go ahead and do it. So let's see. The next question is the ad working for them, even in spite of the backlash? Well, the answer to
I don't know.
well, I'm
I don't
about to
know.
tell you. I'm
So
about
he
to
got
tell
the
you.
S for you.
I
What's the
got the
record?
answer for you.
What's the sales numbers? Go
Okay.
ahead.
Sales performance prior to the campaign in February and April of this year, in the April quarter, prior to the campaign, American Eagle total sales were down 5% year over year, right? Stock reaction, right? The campaign triggered a 10% rise in American Eagle stock, adding
Woo, and that's the important part. The
adding
shareholders.
adding about $200 million in market cap. Then
Mm.
Current President Trump endorsed on Truth Social, endorsed the ad, led to further 22 to 24% stock surge, the biggest rally since 2000, pushing the brand's value up even more. Media exposure. The campaign generated more than 4 billion online impressions, estimated at $65 million in earned media value.
And now, Wes, I wanted to question you on this. Now, those media impressions, that's almost like free advertisement. Am I correct?
Pretty much because
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much because uh it is an advertisement, but yeah, all those impressions, that's the equal value of earned impressions off of 4 billion online impressions, an estimated earned media value of $65 million. And that's just on the internet. Some unverified sources claim Flash gains up to 300 million revenue in a single day. That's not confirmed, though these reports haven't been confirmed. So the summary table,
And what was their
sales.
total? I'm sorry, Wes. I don't mean to cut you off, but did they have or do you have a number of what their total rollout cost was compared to what they've made between sales and impressions?
Yeah, it wasn't really put out how much their rollout cost was, but the sales change metric, um like we said, 10% increase stock initially up to plus 24%. Market cap gain was 200 million. Earned media exposure value 65 million. Reportedly daily spikes unverified was the 300 million. Key takeaways: despite declining sales early in the year, the campaign significantly lifted the brand visibility and stock market value.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Actually,
agreeing
yeah.
with what T said. She said, "I'm curious how many of those sales are because it's back to school time, and not for nothing. How much percentage of those sales are because of upcoming tariffs? So people are going to try to. I mean, I saw in Newsday people are already starting to buy Christmas stuff in August because the tariffs is supposed to hit on Friday. So while it may sound, it may look nice,
but people would.
it may look
I think
nice, but
yeah,
I think people. I think people are already doing that anyway, buying stuff early for Christmas in August. Because I do that every year. I go out and get wrapping paper because it's on sale and stuff like that. Because right now, in the next couple of weeks, the Halloween stuff is going to start popping up all over the place, and that's going to be the beginning of the holiday push. I think the most important part of this. And I'll let you go, Ralph. Let me just say this one piece. I think the most important part of this is not even the store sales. The most important piece of this is to get the shareholders, the stock market, because now everybody's going to start dumping their money into. They don't care about whether you go into the store and buy jeans or not. This is mainly to get the stock price up because the shareholders are probably like, "Hey, listen, man. The last couple of years, every year y'all down 5%. What's going on here? All right, we need a push to get this back up. Trump is in office. Let's push the genetics angle. Fuck it. We're going to get backlash, but screw it. Let's do it."
The stock only goes up when people go buy it.
Not necessarily. It's more so the stock market more so is geared towards advertisement because the more public eyes are on it, then that's when the people behind the scenes and the stock market, because you got to remember that's where the money really comes in from the stock market. It's not just from the public sales. Store sales is totally different than stock market.
It is because with stock, the people are going to be pushing. Everyone wants to run to the next big thing when it comes to stock.
Exactly.
So they're going to put the money into it because they expect sales.
Exactly.
Now, if the sales doesn't happen, then maybe they'll pull their money out. But the bottom line is, I guess the overall answer is the ad is working for them.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
It's
actually,
their market.
I would add now this when you get nitpicky. Is it the ad that's working for them by itself, or is it really the controversy that's working for them?
It's both.
Both.
It's both.
Because the ad sparked the controversy. And they knew it was going to. They knew it was
exactly. Exactly.
Number one, you got dumb behind liberals sometimes that just complain about every damn thing. And just like you got crazy ass conservatives that complain about the stupidest things. And they know that. And they know that liberals and conservatives are going to do whatever it is to annoy each other. and if that means conservatives going out and supporting this brand, even though they never buy it, they're going to support it anyway, just because they want to piss off the liberals. And then the liberals are going to go in and make a whole bunch of stink about stuff and try to blame conservatives. It all becomes this stupid political dance that is just ridiculous when, you got both sides complaining about the dumbest stuff ever. Meanwhile, the country burns to the ground. But that's a whole.
And with that being said, but you can. Well, they have American Eagle.
I was just in the mall yesterday, and I was in the mall in a much more upscale area. I didn't see it, and maybe because I wasn't.
Well, you weren't looking for them either.
You weren't looking for it. That's why. Yeah, because there are American Eagle stores. The American Eagle stores have been around for a while, in certain locations.
I mean, they're everywhere. American Eagle Outfitters are all
Yeah,
over
yeah,
the place.
exactly. Yep.
They're
And
all
I
over the
forgot to
place.
add
And
that
they
part on
are
the end
right.
because
And
that's what the store
they
is
do have
called,
their
American
own
Eagle Outfitters.
outfitters, yeah. I mean, they have their own stores, and they're all over the place, But like I said, I don't know if where you was, you know what I'm saying, but you said you in a fairly upscale area, but I
Well, they
mean,
probably were there, and you probably just walked right
you just
by them and
weren't
didn't
looking
even.
for them. Yeah, you wasn't looking for 'em.
I'm willing to say that I was not looking for him, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, so
ain't nothing.
there's an American Eagle Outfitters in Jackson Premium Outlets. That's in Jackson, New Jersey. Freehold Raceway Mall and
That's
Freehold.
in New Jersey.
Freehold.
Well, I was in
I'm looking
Pennsylvania.
specifically in New Jersey because that's where
Oh, okay.
where's Ralph's from. I was just saying where Freehold Raceway Mall, Ocean County Mall, Jersey Shore Premium Outlet. You know it's on the Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore Premium Outlet.
Gotta have it for the. Oh, no, I'm about to say something, but I can say that. Gotta have it for the Guidos. Gotta have it for the Guidos.
And and you know what?
Mm-hmm.
And that's funny that they have it in the outlet because that means it's at a reduced price. So that means the outlet store is probably going to get some. They're going to get some good traffic from that. They should get some good. They get some good foot traffic from that.
Yeah.
Because you got all the people out there on the beach, and then you want to go into a restaurant and say, "Hey, can't come in here with them bikini bottoms on, or those shorts you had in the ocean." Hey, American Eagle, right there. Let me run and give me a pair of jeans real quick, and that also depends on how much they even cost. I don't even know how much the jeans even cost.
They probably cost anywhere from $45 to $80 a pair. I'm assuming.
They can sit there.
He said they can sit there. Oh my
They can sit there.
Well, no, that's standard. That's standard price for any jeans, unless you're shopping at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, or Burlington.
45. Because I know Levi's cost about $55. $80? Nah.
Well, listen, it depends on the brand. It depends on the brand.
And they can sit there. $80.
The black van. There's a brand called I think something Athletics. I forgot, but they have a tricolored I forget what the name of the brand is, but their jeans cost about $80. And depending on how but see, for me, depending on how the jeans look, how they're made, how they're dyed, because the cheaper you spend on a pair of jeans, or especially a quality pair of jeans, you're going to lose over a year or two. You're going to lose the quality of the jean.
I'm gonna tell you this. I just jumped on their website, and their range. No, they got some because they got all different types. You got the low rise baggy jeans. They're $35.97. That's good.
Okay. There you go.
All right, they're priced to sell.
They don't seem
price
to be
sell
because I don't think these are considered designers type jeans like Calvin Klein and also. So I mean, you got
they don't have a designer. They don't have a designer stamp on them. They're just like Levi's. They're just like Levi's or what's another American brand?
Then you have the American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ultra wide leg jeans. So that's like a signature. They using her signature, a Sydney Sweeney version. That's $89. You see
what I said?
Because their signature on it. Say, I got the jeans that Sydney Sweeney wears. Ooh.
Right.
Yeah. But it's like Russell. But it's like what Run said. You know what I'm saying? Adidas on my Lee's on my leg. Adidas on my feet. Not that one. I'm sorry. The other one where he said, "I don't want nobody's name on my behind." You know what I'm saying? Calvin Klein, don't want nobody's name on my behind. You know what I'm saying? But still he got Lee jeans on. I mean,
no Calvin Klein, no friend of mine, don't want nobody's name on my behind. Lee on my leg,
Adidas on my feet, Jay by my side, and Jay's with the beat. D's by my side and Jay's with the beat.
Yeah, no, I
Listen,
get it.
I get the fact, that you have a particular person. Like I have had stuff by Fat Farm, I've had stuff by Sean John, I've had stuff by Rockaware.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So
I've had Boo,
yeah,
you know, I've had all
yeah.
types of
I've had Fubu. I had hell
Cross colors.
starter
I
alone.
actually was very. I ain't
Oh,
gonna front.
I can't tell you how much
have
money I
people
spent on
say
starter and champion.
all different
Yeah.
parts. I used to get designer stuff. That's just what I used to do. I was a spoiled kid, man. My parents got me anything I wanted, man. So that's just how they was. And they were just middle class, working class people, but they just knew where to find. My mother knew. My mother was a genius at finding all the sales,
Deals. Yeah.
all the deals. And she was a hustler, so she was a heckler. Me like so she talk them down. We used to get our jeans though. We would get our stuff from like Shoppers Village, see stuff like that existed. Shoppers Village, that's a flea market. You see what I'm saying?
Where you could talk the vendors down in price.
It's down in price. So we used to do our school shopping at Shoppers Village, and we come out of there with all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And the key to shopping at Shoppers, and the key to shopping at Shoppers Village, especially that store that was on the third floor, and it was in the northwest corner on the third floor. No, on the second floor, because that's where the food was, where the food court was. It was in the back of the store on the northwest corner, and they had it was a men's store, but girls shopped in there too because they had all of the Lee jeans, they had all the colors, they had all of the pinstripes, and you can go in there and get your BVD nylons. So when you went back to school, you had the BVD nylon tank top and the BVD nylon tee, crew neck, and the Lee jeans that match, and they all match. So if you had royal blue on, you had the white tank top on over the joint. But my point is, like what Wes was saying, when you went to Shoppers Village to shop, you shopped in bulk when you went there, meaning that when your receipt came out of there, if you had $180, $200 receipt, you had 10 pair of jeans.
Yeah, you had a lot.
10 shirts.
You came
and that's
out
how you were able, and that's how you were able to talk them down on the price, because you would buy so much stuff. They'd be like, "Oh man, they spending $300. I gotta give them a $60 discount."
Mom and pop. I was at the mall. Like I said, I was at the mall yesterday. I was in J.C. Penney's. I had because I'm going to this party because I need some white pants, right? They didn't have white pants, but I got a pair of white shorts. I was like, I'm in LA, I have shorts instead. Plus, it's on sale. So I'm in line. There's a lady in front of me, and she's getting back to school stuff. I heard that cashier said that when she was going, she said, yeah, it's $627. And I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Back to
I'd have
school,
been like,
$627.
I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I just would have went home. So now here's the so the answer to the question: has the campaign helped as far as what they're trying to do? The bottom line answer is yes. Now the second question: what does this campaign do for Sydney Sweeney? Well, I have the answer.
Nothing.
I have the answer to that. Short-term effects on Sydney Sweeney. Massive visibility boost. The campaign generated billions of online impressions and made her the centerpiece of one of the most talked about fashion ads of 2025. Right? Bullet point 2. Even people who aren't fans of her work in Euphoria or anyone but you now recognize her name. She's in memes, news cycles, late night talk show host monologues, and TikTok debates. She's on our show right now. There's a picture, right? So publicity, whether
all of this free advertisement, Jesus Christ.
Whether it's publicity, supportive or critical, has made her even more bankable for brands seeking maximum reach. Point 2, polarizing public perception. Supporters see her as an innocent, quote unquote, innocent participant in a marketing idea she didn't create, which is the truth. Many argue that backlash should be aimed at American Eagle's creative team and not her personally. Also true. Critics accuse her of knowingly participating in imagery and messaging tied to white beauty privilege and symbolism or tone deaf branding. For some audiences, this association could stick, especially in politically and culturally sensitive circles.
I
Now,
disagree with that.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I'm sorry
with that
I'm
part.
sorry.
Wait, let me finish my points. Politically and culturally aligned concerns. Donald Trump publicly endorsed the ad, calling her, quote unquote, beautiful, and the campaign perfect. While not her doing, this ties her image, at least in some people's minds, to MAGA, to the MAGA era conservative aesthetics. This could alienate more progressive fan bases or brands. And then point 4 is brand deal risk and reward. The reward, controversy often boosts marketability for brands looking for high impact campaigns, such as what they just did. Some advertisers may see her as a traffic magnet, quote unquote. And the risk is luxury.
It's well worth it. Yep.
Right. Luxury or socially conscious brands may distance themselves if they believe her image is linked to racially exclusive beauty narratives.
I give her 5 years and guaranteed, because I'm looking at her eyes and just her whole aesthetic. I give her 3 to 5 years, and she'll have if her team, if she has a good team around her, and if her agent is right, which is a part of her team,
yeah,
if they do their job, in 3 to 5 years, that girl will have a Chanel ad or a Dior ad, and from that point going forward, it's a wrap. But that'll also depend on what she does as far as box office's appeal and television appeal. If she wins an Emmy, if within the next 2 years, if she wins an Emmy or an Oscar, look out for her to have her own Chanel or Dior ad, guaranteed.
Well, I want with that. This is a perfect segue to something I want to play that I also saw on social media. This social media ad. It's not an ad, but it's a post. I want to play it.
Let's break down 3 actors building high equity careers. First up, we have Sydney Sweeney. Okay, now Sydney Sweeney could have.
Okay, so let's go back.
Talent isn't enough. Acting.
Talent isn't enough. Acting edition. Okay.
What? Break down 3 actors building high equity careers. First up, we have Sydney Sweeney. Okay, now Sydney Sweeney could have stayed in the bombshell lane. She's blonde, soft aesthetic, she can cry on cue. But instead of fighting that typecast, she is in the process of flipping it. Her brand is what I would call subversive vulnerability, where she looks like the archetype, but she plays characters with instability and tension. I mean, from euphoria to reality, she gives you emotional truth and not just polish. And she's now producing, which means she can take an even stronger oversight on how she expands. Now, the value of her brand is she's marketable to the mainstream and respected by the critics. That is her to both commercial and indie lanes. If you want to take a page out of her book, stop trying to escape your archetype and think about how you can reframe it. Next up, we have Lakeith Stanfield. He is my controlled wild card. Lakeith does not do obvious. His brand really is eccentric depth. You feel you never know what he's thinking, but you do feel everything he plays. Remember, most of brand is in how you make decisions. He picks roles that fit his energy, but allow you to see him in a bunch of different settings. He's a great example of someone who expands his range, but keeps a very narrow lane. What makes his brand valuable is he's built trust with casting directors and audiences who want something different. He owns a niche a few can copy, and that gives him staying power. If you want to take a page out of his book, get clear on who you really are, the emotions you hold, and the emotions that you convey. Then explore how many different versions of that you can deliver without diluting it. And then lastly, we have Zendaya. Zendaya is building her brand like an architect. She did not blow up, she built it step by step, roll by roll, and that girl nails it every time. And one of the smartest business moves that she made was hiring La Roche. This wasn't just fashion, it was positioning. It took her from up and coming to undeniable. She looks like legacy. Her brand is nostalgic elegance with earned depth. Every gig is a reminder that that girl is gifted. She's one of few actors who can lead a blockbuster and headline an award season drama.
Talk about it.
Want to take a page out of her book, invest in your total image, what you wear, what you say, what you sign on to, where you show up, and more importantly, where you don't show up, because it all compounds. Sydney, Lakeith, Zendaya, different energies, different lanes, but they're all proof that talent is the foundation and brand is the leverage.
Yo, please give her. You gotta give her the real talk. You gotta give her a real talk applause because she was right on every last one of them. God damn it,
she was fine.
Oh my God!
I'm going to say that what she said was good, but this is not
good.
Not on
good.
No. I'm going to say this. The thing with Lakeith is, simply put, that women progress quicker than guys. Because I could use that same argument for Giancarlo Esposito. That guy had all kind of charisma when he was back in Spike Lee, but no one ever really put him in the role to make him the bona fide superstar that he really should have been.
But you didn't listen to what she said, Ralph. She didn't listen to what she said. No, you didn't. Because if you would have listened to what she said, she said her team, their teams put them in position, meaning that they understood Giancarlo Esposito to the same point as Lakeith. He was the same way. He was very picky about the roles that he wanted to do. It wasn't until he got older that he really started when his pay grade got upgraded to a certain, and I forgot what movie it was that really triggered his pay upgrade. But once he got that negotiating power about his check, that's when you started seeing him in more predominant roles because now they can afford him.
I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is that, realistically speaking, Giancarlo Esposito, after he did the Spike Lee trilogy of School Days, Jungle Fever, and Do the Right Thing, he should have been the guy that should have been leading movies.
No, not necessarily so. And here's why. Because in those days, which was the 90s, was still black films were back on the come up. If this was like 1970, 1980, where there were limited, where there were no black exposure, where all black artists were going through white management firms and white talent agents, then maybe so. Like Eddie Murphy and the like, where they were only that we're still in the era, the 90s when he came out, it was still in the era of there could only be 1 to 3, maybe at the most, black faces on that were allowed on the screen. And in the 90s, who was dominant? Denzel.
Right.
Denzel was leading. He was the leading black man. It wasn't until the 2000s that the energy started to change in Hollywood, where they were opening up the floodgates to allow there to be more than one black male face on screen at a time.
I'm gonna say this, for really what this girl and her, I just put the link to her Instagram on the page. People can follow her if you want. Her name is Amanda Sabrith. No, Sabrith. Yeah, Sabrith. I think I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right.
Is it Sabria?
Sabria, yeah, Sabria. Amanda Sabria. So she has a lot of cool takes. I follow her. But anyway, she hit this right on the head.
In the head, man.
She's telling you she does this not just for that too. She did it for artists. She does it for other people. She's like, talent is not enough. That's what she's trying to say. Talent is not enough.
It used to be that talent was enough, but
talent.
now we're not in that era anymore.
No, that talent doesn't. I mean, I'll even go further and say talent doesn't even really matter as much anymore. It's really
I might
because
agree with that one.
You got artists that their branding is so crazy they don't even hardly have to make records. I can't even name you more. Just maybe one
Sexy
or two.
Red.
Well, no, but Sexy Red does make records. I'm talking about Sweeney. So Sweeney, I'm like, I don't even know any of her records except for "He's My Best Friend." See, you saying who? But let me tell you something. Sweeney has brand deals. She has, endorsements and things like that because they work the social media. Social media has become part of
the engine.
Your branding. Yeah, it's become part of the engine of your branding. So because she works on social media, look at Cardi B. Cardi B hasn't made a damn album since her first album in like 5
and look
years.
at look at her lifestyle. Her lifestyle. If I was the feds, I would be at her door because her lifestyle, both of them, does not match. It doesn't match the fact that they're record artists. It doesn't matter. And here, enter in why. Not trying to take this off topic, but enter in the reason why record labels started 360 deals is because they understood. They started seeing like, wait a minute, this with Jay-Z and artists like that. They started seeing like, wait a minute, this thing is going. You got artists like saying, well, I'll be able. I don't care if the label if I got a 5 record deal that's worth whatever. I'll work that off, doing whatever. And that'll pay for itself. But I'll make all my money off of stage and off of endorsements.
Right.
And
So
enter in the 360.
Right. Bringing it back to Sydney Sweeney, the reason why I played that is because she broke down how Sydney Sweeney is becoming the it girl. She's embracing the archetype, right? Because she is, and this goes back to what we talked about at the top of the show. She fits that archetype of the blonde hair, blue eye bombshell that America has been pushing for generations.
Since
right?
Since before Farrah Fawcett. Yeah. Since
Marilyn
beyond
Monroe.
Go back past Marilyn Monroe.
Jane Mansfield, let's be clear. Since television and movies, realistically speaking, went to color, and you really knew that this girl.
No, Ralph, you can't say that before color, because remember, blonde hair and blue eyed, especially the blonde hair, stood out more in black and white films. So you
could tell if they had blonde hair, or you could tell that they kind of had blonde hair. Especially the bleach blonde hair.
Exactly.
But anyway, so that's the archetype, right? And instead of what she was saying, if you're trying to take a page out of her book, don't run from your archetype. You know what I'm saying? Embrace it and find ways to flip it that works for you. You know what I mean? So I really like what she said about Sydney Sweeney and how her and obviously her team kind of puts things together. So once again, I think the reward is higher than the risk, because this will be something that is a quote unquote bad thing for a very short period of time. And once people find something else to complain about, they'll move on to that.
And remember, and remember, this is also a good cover up from everybody talking about Epstein. Because remember, the whole point that all the media was talking about, let's keep the focus on the Epstein files.
Right.
And now what are we slowly getting? Trump is doing. He's perfect for this. First, he tried to trigger with Beyonce. That didn't work. Then he tried to trigger with the with who was the other actress that he tried to trigger with? He tried Beyonce, somebody else. Then he tried talking about something else, and it didn't work. They were still on Epstein, and then here comes this,
So now let's go into a
which is the
comparison
Democrats' fault.
of, yeah. Let's go into a comparison of some of the past ads that were banned in some countries and things of that. And ads that generally sparked outrage, if you will, right? Obviously, let's go into this is the number one thing that popped in my mind. And let me just reshare my screen. This is the number one thing that popped in my mind. Obviously, in the 1980 and through the 80s, Calvin Klein had ran the "Nothing Comes Between Me and My Calvins" ad. And you have a 15-year-old at the time, Brooke Shields, modeling the ads, and she the controversy, of course, Brooke Shields delivering the line, "You know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing." All right. So once again, play off words, innuendo, double entendre, right? And same type of simple. I mean, this is marketing, right? Same type. It's kind of like simple, but it's a double entendre. Obviously, it's giving off the impression that Brooke Shields doesn't have any underwear on, because what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing, right? So, obviously the outrage and the controversy came from that and her being 15 at the time. Outrage fueled media coverage, but sales skyrocketed, proving controversy can be commercially effective but ethically questionable. Right?
And look at the ad. Look at the picture. They purposely showed skin between the jeans and her shirt, with her belly showing, which gives.
So in this picture, it gives the impression that she's not wearing a bra, which she probably isn't in this picture, and the line itself suggests that she's
No
not wearing
underwear.
underwear. You know what I mean?
Unless they Calvin.
And that's the fact, and that's the point of contention
But they're not.
about her.
It's not. The line means there is nothing gets between me and my Calvins. But like you said, yeah, if she has on Calvin underwear, I guess if you think about it that way. But the line was obviously created for sex, in a sexualizing manner. Obviously,
And it was the 80s, because that's what it was in the 80s.
So that one, of course. There's another one here. Where's this one? Which I came across. I don't remember this one, but this one was an ad that came out in 2007, and they called it the gang rape allegation ad. The Dolce & Gabbana, a male model pinned down a woman surrounded by other men. How the men are all looking down at her, and so this was a suggestive gang rape.
Gang bang.
Gang bang. Yeah. Gang bang. Type of deal. The critics accused the brand of glamorizing sexual violence. That was the controversy.
That's not even sexual violence. It's not sexual violence. It's sexuality. Yes, it's not sexual violence.
Right.
Now,
the other two men are fully dressed.
They were.
That don't mean nothing.
Even though we just said gang bang, but they were, and I'm gonna stop saying the R word. They were. The allegation was imagery that's portraying a gang
bang
R word allegation, not a gang bang. A gang bang is.
I'm saying that, right? So that we kind of
I know what you're saying. You clean it up. So I'm just gonna say R word or grape, as they say. They tell you to say grape, right? but because a gang bang would be consensual. Gang.
And who's to say that this is not consensual? Here's the thing.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
I know that, but that's the whole point of controversy, right? Controversy has two sides to it, right?
Because the only thing actual controversial in that entire ad is simply that if I'm looking at this right, and actually I look like it's wrong, it looks like he has his hand around her left wrist. That's the only part of the entire thing that's actually controversial, is the fact where you could sit there and say, well, it might be this. It might be that. See, if I can't see her left, will be her right. I can only see her left side. But if I'm looking at this correctly, right, she is pointing her hips in the
are pointing out
to him. So she
and mind you.
No, but see, this is all that. This is funny that y'all saying that because it's all perspective. It's all perspective.
And mind you, you need to point out more.
I can point out.
But even to point out more on what Ralph is saying, her hips are thrusted up, but he's on the other side of her hips.
Exactly. He's on the right side of her hips, and I'm saying that from the other stuff that I do. This right here would be considered consensual, not an attempted
but you
allegation.
Can't really you can't use your other profession in this aspect, because what they're saying is, regardless, the suggestion of it, just like how everything you just pointed out, I agree with, but you can look at it from another end and see somewhat the suggestive manner that they're talking about, because she's not
coming from a conservative point of view. If you're coming from a prudent point of view,
let me point it out. So she's not looking at him. So consensual would possibly come with her kind of acknowledging him, looking at him as if she wanted him to do it. She's not looking at him. She's looking away from him as if she's maybe struggling. The thrust in the hips could be her struggling, trying to get up because he has her bent down. And you can see his other arm over here. So he may have both her arms pent down, right? It probably does, because given the position she's in, that type of push up off her body, she would need her upper body to be bent down for her to give that kind of leverage with her, with the way she's pushed. So that's the suggestion of this guy. He's looking down at what's going on. He's looking directly at her, right? This guy's just hanging out. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but this one is looking directly. He just walked up like, what the hell's going on? So then he just looking directly down at her, and he's looking down at her, but she's not notice she's not looking at none of them. So once again, just like how
her eyes are closed, actually.
I can make an argument that could be because it's outside, it's the sun, because homeboy got sunglasses on, and she's kind of like not look. If she was looking directly at him, she was looking directly into the sun, so she looked up to the side. So I mean, there's a lot of imagery there. I can
there's a lot of imagery.
It.
So that's what I mean. It could go both ways. It's all perspective. So now normally you think, yeah, of course, obviously it's an ad, so we all know that this was consensual, all of this stuff. It's meant to be sexy, obviously.
And that's my point. People can take if you want to take something and make it controversial, even when there's no controversy, because like you said, the main point is looking at this and knowing that it's an ad. We all know that everything on here was consensual. There's nothing non-consensual about it. Right. That it's just a sexy ad. But if you're coming from the right, from a very, very right perspective, from a Anglo-Christian perspective, it's like, hey, well, this poor, beautiful young lady is being accosted.
I gotta be fair and say that ain't just right wing.
Well, either way, right or left.
Liberal perspective as well, by saying this over sexualized and it's promoting gang violence, sexual violence and stuff like that. That's to be honest with you, that's probably more of a liberal standpoint than the right, because there'll be.
Well, you heard what I said. No, you heard what I said. I said Anglo-Christian right.
Exactly.
There's a difference.
Yeah, with them, right? Exactly. So with that being said, this was made on, and then there was one more I had here. Well, obviously the one that was obviously controversial. Well, here's another one. American Apparel now open.
Shit. You know what? I wouldn't give a goddamn. Hello.
Awesome.
Hello.
I think it's awesome, but I think it's hilarious. But of course, once again, you gotta have the.
You know what this was? You know what this was, right? This was the 32-year-old guy that couldn't get a date, that was down in his basement with the KY and some Kleenex.
You know what this is.
Porn.
No, you know what this is. This is a guy at the top of the show that ripped up the Superman shirt. This was for him. This is for him.
Yo, that's funny. So that was now open. Yeah, so the people, oh my God, it's too so sexualized. This was the most obvious messed up one, the coolest monkey in the jungle.
Now this one is obviously somebody should have been set on. Somebody should have been set on fire for this one.
Yeah, that was.
Somebody should have had that ass whooped.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not gonna stay on that image too long because that poor kid got put in there. But there was the Brooke one, and then there was one more I had that was here. This is the Kendall. This was a ad that Kendall Jenner was in. I don't think this particularly isn't Kendall Jenner, but she did one just like this, and this is the only ad that I could find like it. But it was the upskirt billboard.
Well, in my Calvins, they talk about the underwear. But what else are we supposed to do? Show the dress?
I flash in my Calvins. That's what it says.
I flash in my Calvins.
Like I said, Calvin Klein underwear.
And you know what? Wait, you know what? What era was this? When did this picture come out?
This came out in 2016.
And you know what what's going on? You know what's going on between 2005 and 2016 with these pervert ass guys and their cell phones in Manhattan? They were walking around sticking their phones under girls' dresses and taking pictures. Fucking pervs, excuse my language.
Yeah. So
that's what that was a play on. That was an exact play on what was going on around that time with the girls, with a lot of females, and the guys were going into the bathroom stalls while the girls are sitting on the toilets and was taking pictures of them.
Wow.
At different restaurants and in department stores. That was the other place, in department stores. When the girls were in the changing room, the guys were going in there and taking pictures. It was a big thing. It was all over the news in New York because it was going crazy.
That is wild. I mean,
the only person that I can sit there and say that when they say all publicity is not good, right? Because I believe that all publicity is not good because I've seen this up close. Is Madonna when she did the like a prayer song, and Pepsi was outraged over the video, and then they yanked her world tour away from her. She's the only person I could legitimately sit there and say that. Well,
it actually backfired for her.
It actually backfired for her. Yeah. I know Janet Jackson had something taken away, but that was because of guilty by association because of her brother. Something that she was supposed to got yanked away from her because of
no, it wasn't just that. It was just that. It was also because Justin Bieber Justin Timberlake left her out to dry.
No. This was before Super Bowl thing happened. She was up for something. It was some sort of promotion product line she's going to endorse, but it got yanked away from her because allegations are coming about Michael Jackson, and they kind of felt that guilty by association, so they got yanked away from her. This is way
that is so stupid.
Yeah. So
and then to come to find out the guy was innocent on all charges. The feds found nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I'm going to basically, in a nutshell, wrap it up because now I can, finally just kind of put my pure opinion out there, and it's really pretty simple. For Sydney Sweeney, this is both a PR risk and a visibility jackpot. It's both, but I think it leans more towards the visibility jackpot than PR risk. I don't think what some people accused her of. I don't think she went into this knowingly thinking whatever people were accusing it of with the whole. Because I don't believe, based on what that young lady we saw posted and how she is building her brand, I don't believe if she thought that other stuff was going to be tagged to it, she would have did it because like based on what we just learned about her, she's really big on building her brand. Right now, yes, I'm sure the whole thing about the archetype of blonde bombshell, yes, that she definitely knew. That's part of her strategy to lean into it. So that part, yes, she definitely went in knowing. But if she could look into the future of it, it being branded Nazism and associating her with that, and there's like a viral video of her crying online or something like that, which I really wish wouldn't have happened. I was hoping it was fake when I saw that. I was like, I hope that's fake because like don't apologize to these people.
No, but that
Exactly,
needed,
Sydney.
but that needed to happen, and here's why. Because she has to show, especially after them pointing out that
But
she's a
yeah,
Republican,
she has,
she
right.
she she, she had to show that she
That
was sympathetic
yeah,
to.
I know it had to happen. But so with that being said,
And the fact that they said that she can cry on cue. So
yeah,
I call,
yeah, exactly. But bottom line, I'll say this: we're the state where this country is just not forget about it. It's been divided for years, but
Keep taking his shoes.
it's been divided for years, but it is a country that is basically going to crap, and both sides of these, we'll just call them the Bloods and the Crips, the blue and the red. They're both sides of these gangs are sitting here complaining about the dumbest stuff ever, in my opinion. Mostly liberals are complaining about this ad and going so deep. And at the end of the day, what does it really matter? Does it really
well,
matter? I mean, honestly, you're giving them what they want by going so hard on this whole situation.
but let me just ask you this: but when you say liberals, are you saying liberals as in politicians or liberals as in liberal people? Because right now, to be honest with you, on the liberal side, on the left side, Democrats are really focused on what's going on in Texas right now.
No,
And
I
there's
understand that. No, I mean liberals, just period. People, not per se politicians, because not really. I haven't seen any politicians on the Democratic side really say anything about this. I haven't, but they might. But liberals, meaning pundits and people, political commentators and stuff like that, as well as just liberal people. That's mostly people that's on the internet, because that's where all
Like
the
I
quote unquote outrage came from. The
like I
YouTube,
said, go get a life. Get a life. Get a
right?
life.
Yeah, like, it's to me this is the equivalent, if not just as bad or worse, as conservatives complaining about Superman being called an immigrant, or using their platforms on Fox to try to uh detract people from going to see Superman because he was referred to as an immigrant. It's like, what? Like, this is the hill you're gonna die on? Like,
Exactly.
really?
Exactly.
So they say, all right, it's super woke. And they said, like, what are you talking about? We explained that in a couple of shows back where I pointed out from the history of Superman, he's always been, if y'all want to call it woke, I mean, or whatever you want to call it. I don't call it that, but he's always been that. And I pointed that out several shows ago. So this is not the hill you want to die on. Then you got that they complain about that nonsense. Then you also had Megyn Kelly complaining about Black Santa Claus when she saw Black Santa Claus. Everyone knows Santa Claus is white. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that because I didn't know Santa Claus existed, you idiot.
Thanks for the history lesson, Megyn Kelly.
Exactly.
Thank you for the education. I really appreciate it. I didn't know that.
Right. I'm leaning over and saying, who's gonna tell her? Who's gonna tell her that Santa Claus doesn't exist? So with that being said, you know,
Next
you
you're gonna
got
tell me the Easter Bunny is gray.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna say. Oh man, wait till she finds that out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Wait. That's what that was the joke with Hulk Hogan. They're like, wait till he finds out Jesus is black. It's like, yo. But
Jesus.
They're like, oh no, brother. Nah, but
and what you're gonna do when you find out Jesus is really black? I don't know.
Oh man. Too soon? I don't know.
Nope, it ain't too soon.
It ain't too soon. Fuck him.
For Hulk Hogan, it's never too soon.
I say that with no shame. Fuck him.
Yeah.
I got the whole thing. People saying, "Well, okay, wait a minute. Maybe I need to clarify that." I do feel bad that Hulk Hogan passed away. He is an icon, and frankly, we wouldn't have wrestling really without him. I'm sorry, but that's really the case.
It wouldn't be what it is. Yeah,
it wouldn't be what it is.
Facts.
But Terry Bollea, fuck you.
Right. Well, there you go. So with
agreed.
I agree. All of that being said, you got these people. You got the liberals complaining about the dumb stuff, gene ads and I don't know, pronouns and all types of stuff that they want to die on those hills. And you got conservatives complaining about Superman being an immigrant and Santa Claus being black. But yet we got the state.
I would sit there and say, yeah, Superman. I sit there and say, yeah, Superman is a grimmer. You gonna cut him a check? You gonna cut him a check?
No, they're gonna. Are you gonna try to? No, they're gonna try to. They're gonna try.
You gonna try to deport him?
They're gonna try to deport him back to Krypton.
I can see Ice coming up to him.
No.
I can see Ice coming up to him, and he turn around with his
Krypton. Because
it don't exist.
Krypton doesn't exist, and number two, they're gonna say, well, he looks like he might be from Mars. Let's put him there.
But I can see Ice coming up to him with that heavy-handed tactic. He turned around. All he gotta do is have his eyes start going red and say, "Yeah, what you guys think you're really gonna do? What you gonna do?"
Yeah,
just fry a couple of them. They'll back off.
This is the type of things they complain about, and really, at the end of the day, it's like, what are we doing here, man? What are we doing? We're complaining about this is the hill you're gonna die on? Really?
Exactly. They're gonna deport them. They're gonna deport them to Sudan or to Ecuador or El Salvador.
We can't. We can't put them to Krypton. Let's send them somewhere close. Let's put them in alligator Alcatraz.
Exactly. Like just stop. Please.
Just stop.
Damn
on both y'all. And I'll say this as the last thing I'll say. I know that conservatives like to piss off liberals and liberals like to piss off conservatives. But conservatives that's all suddenly rallied behind Sydney Sweeney because Trump endorsed the ad. Well, I got news for you, cats. That ain't the flex you think it is. Sydney Sweeney only got popular off of the most liberal show ever. So you guys
say that again for the people in Kansas.
Yeah, she's only popular because she's one of the major stars of the most liberal show probably in the last 20 years. Euphoria.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I invite you conservatives to take a gander at Euphoria season 1 and get back.
I don't know if you consider so, but season 1, let's see, you got a biracial mixed girl that's a drug addict that's in love with a transsexual.
The character star of the show,
right?
Who's actually a transgender person,
right? You got Sydney Sweeney, who was in love with a black man,
yeah,
right? But then goes and cheats and it goes and has an affair with her best friend's boyfriend,
yeah,
and unapologetically did it. So
with more to come. So let's see. Take a look at. I invite you guys. Take a look at Euphoria. See if you can handle it and get back to us. So it ain't the flex that you think it is. All right.
No.
And so let's just leave it
Calm
all
it
alone.
down.
Yeah, calm it down. Pump the brakes. Let this woman do her job. Do what she's doing. She is in Hollywood. She's an actress. She's trying to, brand herself and do her thing. Man, everybody, leave this woman alone. You want to admire her looks? Fine, admire her looks. You want to admire her acting? Admire her acting. But everyone needs to, don't try to use her as a political weapon, because that's just crazy. Now what you're going to do is, like Kev said, her crying on the internet and stuff shows sympathy, and if you continue to do it, you're going to have her outright come out and say something that's going to piss y'all off. So just let's leave it alone.
And you consider where was he at? Not for nothing. If you wanted to get on her about something, you should get on her about being in that god awful Madam Web movie. Get on her about that. Get off of the
Get on all of them for that movie. But exactly. So that's what I'm going to kind of end this off with.
We don't talk about Bruno.
It's just stupid. Yeah, we don't. That's Bruno. That's definitely Bruno, Madam
Exactly.
Web. We don't talk about Madam Web.
Web.
But, yeah, I'll close the show out basically by saying, listen, man, like Ralph just said, calm down. Get a life. And that's for everybody. Both sides of that's turned this yet again, took something and made it into a political thing. And like I said, I give smoke to the people who deserve the smoke. Liberals have been the ones that's really brought this stuff up and got all crazy about it. So they deserve the smoke, period. But like I said, conservatives, you get the smoke too, because this is not the flex you think it is. Trust me. It's not. So, and then for all of the white supremacists that want to jump on it and think that she don't take the BBC.
Which she might be taking now. I mean, not for nothing. She
may not be taking it right now.
No, I'm saying, because let's be clear. Last year, she was in that whole controversy, like was she sleeping with her co-star from that movie, and is that what caused her to break up with her boyfriend that was 10 years older than her? And young Hollywood, y'all don't understand Hollywood. You conservatives, listen, we fuck everybody. I hate to tell you.
This is true. It's what it is, man. It's back to the 70s. Everybody can get the smoke.
Yeah.
Listen, it ain't back to the 70s. It ain't never changed.
That's true. It ain't never changed.
Because it's even before the 70s. I love talking about it. I love talking about it to piss people off, because everybody know Marilyn Monroe was banging, and she took the BBC as well. She just had
that was before, but and she was
it hurt her brand. You know what I mean?
And she was doing that before Kennedy,
because there was no social media. So you could move around and do some stuff.
It's that one picture of her at the and they've scrubbed the internet of that picture too. It's hard to find now. There's that picture of her with that black guy. I forgot who it was at the time, but they're at a dinner table, and she's at the table and he's on another side of the table, but under the table there's a small, you can see they were holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, and that picture has been scrubbed from the internet. People don't want to ruin the image, the great white image of Marilyn Monroe. But the fact of the matter remains that Marilyn Monroe was not a bigot. She took the BBC, just like
You think Jane Fonda never took the BBC? Yeah.
Shit,
You think Cher never took the BBC? Yeah.
Believe. Come on, man. But
Shit.
they like
all the way up to Madonna, and keep going forward. Adele, all of them.
They like
Mariah.
Yeah, right. They like the.
Well, Mariah don't count because Mariah's half black.
Yeah.
She don't count.
Miley, you don't think Miley took the BBC?
Well, but as you know, when that happens, the white cats that like that's when they start labeling them, sluts,
hoes and hookers, and
that's
you every bad slang word that they could bring up for you under the moon. Yeah, except for a good woman.
We all know that if Kim Kardashian had that sex tape with Tommy Lee instead of Ray J, everyone would be all of the white people would be white men, I should say, would be worshiping her.
Let me tell you something. You know what Kim Kardashian's sex tape did? Opened up the door. She said, "Listen, y'all. Listen, this is the way to go."
Well,
stop leaning, and mind you, we don't really know who her daddy is, because if you look at Kim Kardashian, I don't know, Chloe might be a little bit tall, and we know that's OJ's daughter, but you know what I'm saying?
That's where she got the height that's where she got the height from. Nah, but seriously,
Kendall was out there doing her thing, boy.
But here's the funny thing: do you think it's a coincidence that most of the white guys that are all into, and I'm not talking about all white guys, I'm just talking about the guys that are just into white women and like to put these white women on pedestals, they only like Courtney because she's the only one that hasn't shown up publicly with a black person.
The black dude. That's
the only one I care about is Courtney. Oh, what a coincidence! Before Kendall and Kylie started really dating, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? She was fucking around with Lamar Odom, wasn't it?
No, that's Chloe.
That's Chloe.
Oh,
Chloe. We're talking about Courtney. She's never been publicly seen. She's with a white guy, and she's never been.
She's with the drummer from what's it called?
Yeah, the drummer. Yeah. She
I'm so Travis. Yeah, Travis. What's his face? And I'm so happy for their relationship. I love their wedding. If you ever watched the video of their wedding, of her and Travis's wedding, they had it in Italy. The whole thing was just beautiful, man. And I'm really happy for them because they're still together, right?
Oh no, yeah, they're still together. But what I'm saying is that's why the only Kardashian I even got time for is Courtney. So, but anyway, my whole point being said that don't think y'all think what you want. You can keep your fantasy in your head alive, but we all know what it really is.
Listen, and that's the whole problem. Swinging it back to the Sweeney to the American Eagle ad, it's all the whole controversy. It really boils around. I the only way that I could put it is the way Roland Martin put it in his book, is white fear, because America is slowly going back to a brown population, and from whether it's from the right to the left, that's what they're worried about, and they have to keep that imagery alive.
Years ago, Fear of a Black Planet.
Yeah.
They made a record about it, but that's a whole nother show and conversation. So anyway, good shout out to everybody that came through in the chat room. We appreciate y'all. Tea and popcorn. I appreciate you for coming through.
That's a dope name, Tea and Popcorn.
Yeah, I know, that's hilarious. That's a great name.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Definitely follow the young lady on Instagram that I put up there. She
hit it in the park, man.
Yeah, she hit it out the park. She has some really good takes. And I for the record, I love Sydney Sweeney. I mean, is she the greatest actress? No, but I like her. She's entertaining. She's definitely easy on the eyes. And I like her in Euphoria. I kind of started liking her from there. So
easy on the eyes, please. Wait, keep your eyes wide open. You broke up with her. You lose sleep at night.
I know.
You be crying in your pillow. Please come back.
I hope that this affects her in a positive way, not a negative way. And everybody needs to just freaking grow up and get a life, as Ralph
and
said.
Bruce Penn, we missed you on this one, man. I know I missed you last week because my old ass fell asleep. Literally 15 minutes before the show came on, I fell asleep last week. But we miss you and AJ, man. Where you guys at?
Yeah. So we'll get out with y'all next week, man. Y'all peace out. And and any parting words for anybody? Anybody parting words about Sydney Sweeney?
Sha-la-la-la.
Go see Naked Gun. That's all I'm gonna say.
Did you see it?
Yes, I did. No,
and just like I said, it was hilarious, wasn't it?
I will sit there and I will probably say it was better than what I was going to give it credit for. In the first 5 minutes, I was ready to say, nope, this is going to be bullshit because it didn't have the music, but the music comes in later on in the movie. And I was like, okay. But there were some real screams in that movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm sorry, man. Pamela Anderson, man, that's the Beach Blonde.
She still can get it.
Please, man. She walked in there in this dress. I was like, yo, the nipples came before the actual dress came into the room. I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
And supposedly Liam Neeson is messing with her. Like, Liam, my man, kudos, Strong J to you, man. I gotta say Strong J.
Yo, definitely. If that's the case, definitely. I told people that was, and I haven't seen it yet. I'm going tomorrow. I told people that he was the perfect fit. If there was any actor that could fit that role to do that, it was him. To make a 180-degree turn from being the serious I gotta save my family to doing this it's just hilarious in itself. So
I still say he shouldn't have been this. He should not have been this. And I'm saying that because I said to Wes last weekend on one of the few channels on our cable system, they were having this marathon from the 80s. First show was Police Squad, but the other one was a show called Sledgehammer. And I'm looking at it, I was like, that's who he should have been.
You said that. You said that. You did say that.
Well,
yeah, he should have been Sledgehammer.
Definitely check it out, and I got a couple more movies to check out. Yeah, man, that's it. We're out of here, man. Sha-la.
Deuces.
Sha-la.
Deuces.
Don't you forget about me.